Previously on SweejTech.
Oh, hi there. That was a look at a lot of the stuff we've been working on in the past and presenting, and now I will show you some of the stuff that's currently in development to be made available real soon at SweejTech. So here's one of our more requested features. It's a way to place scatter spot sounds on specific locations, and the most common one is to place bird sounds on trees. But we've taken this a step further. You can of course do that. You basically, we call it the SweejSpot, and what you do is you place tags on trees, for example, and here it would be the SweejTech tree is what we're using in this example, and then the bird sounds all play on the tree locations which we've set here. And you can also see that these spheres go from teal to pink, and teal means that they're available and pink means that they're on cooldown, so that you can't get 100 birds in the same tree at the same time. So you can choose to only play if there's an available spot, or you can choose to play if there is a spot, an available spot, then use that one, and otherwise play a random location or block it entirely. You can also use this as part of a procedural workflow, for example to check if there are 100 trees nearby, then you're probably in the forest, so you could create an ambient sound that plays a forest sound around you, and that's actually what you're hearing in this video. You can see in the top left corner there that the tree count has gone up to 100 now. The sweet spot for the SweejSpot seems to be 70 for me, so 70 trees, that's when we're fully in the forest according to my calculations. So we've made it as flexible but still simple as possible. You place a component on an asset and then it gets the spot, and then we have a system that calculates how many of each spot is nearby. We've talked about meta sound interfaces and global parameters before, but the new thing is that these are available on our documentation platform now. So if you're interested to hear more about these, you can access them here. Boop! This plugin is currently in development. Love to hear your feedback on it though. Okay, so we've spoken before about our fast convolution reverb. It can save CPU time, or you can use more reverb. We've also created a reverb metasound node.
For the good old American life, for the money, for the
One of the applications you can do with this is that you can use a convolution reverb to make it appear as if the sound is coming from some different source. For example, an old phone, perhaps? So we just route it through the convolution reverb, and now the voice sounds like this.
For the good old American life, for the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money.
That's nice, but it's not quite the old phone I was looking for.
For the good old American life, for the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money.
Actually, I like the first old phone better. We can also use it to do what we call sound-centric reverb, essentially where instead of having the reverb on a submix, as in my experience is the common behavior, we put this reverb directly on the sound. So here's me first shouting in a cabin, and then I'm in a cabin then me as a player, I'm in a cabin, and then I'm shouting in the forest. As in a Gustav avatar in the front. Yeah, you'll see. So as you could hopefully hear there, the forest reverb remains on the voice whether I am indoors or outdoors, but when I am indoors it's also mixed with the indoor reverb. I think the even stronger case is the first one I showed, where the shouting is clearly with a room reverb and you hear that being occluded, and then as I open the door it becomes unoccluded and you hear it with the full reverb. Yeah, just makes the propagation very nice. Speaking of propagation, we have our propagation toolset that is also evolving. In this example I've just used raw music and voice, and I've placed it through one reverb to make it appear like it's coming from a specific source, you'll see, and then there's the reverb of the room that it's playing in, and then we're using propagation to handle obstruction right here. So as you can hopefully tell here, there's a gradual shift in the obstruction, the amount of obstruction, and even peeking through a hole like this opens up the filters a bit. We've also created some workflows for this, where you can create a propagation definition. This one is called the Christmas Miracle, but here you can set min frequency, max frequency, attenuation, that kind of stuff. Source radius is, yeah, how large is the sphere that we're tracing towards. This will most likely be more shapes in the future. Some smoothing, how aggressive you want it to be able to be when switching between values. We're looking at adding curves and more filters to this in the future. Tracing on the GPU, so using a lot of traces. We're currently doing obstruction. We'll be looking to doing occlusion. That's basically when there is no path to the sound at all with pathfinding. And similarly, we want to do diffraction. We want to be able to do diffraction at least. We're not sure. It will always be the wanted effect for gameplay and such, because it does hide some information from the player by making it more real, as if it would be coming from that door opening over there. Exclusion is if there's a direct path but no reverberated path. Not sure how wanted that is, but it's something we can play with. And then doing something like runtime generated reverb would be very exciting. We have a lot of traces now and a lot of fun to be had with them. I don't think this has seen the light of day before, but this is something we've been working on lately. It's something we've experienced on every project that we've worked on. It's like, oh, we need physics sounds. Okay, build physics sounds in blueprints and then play them. No problem, right? Well, unfortunately, blueprints can't solve all problems, and it doesn't do it in a simple or performant way, the same as code can do sometimes. So we have a very simple setup here. You see it's just an impact sound, a movement sound, and linear speed max and angular speed max in the bottom right corner, and we have some fantastic results to show for it. Very nice. We've also been working on our DSP side. So this is a plugin we call the SweejTech, which is essentially a sidechain multiband ducker. So what we're using it for is to make the voice more transparent, more obvious and readable in a very busy soundscape. So what it does is that you place this on your main submix, for example, and the sidechain is that it reads from the voice submix, and then it carves a hole for the voice accordingly. And in this video you'll hear me toggle it off. It's on from the beginning, and then I toggle it off in the middle of the video, and then you'll be able to see what the effect has been doing. So this is what it sounds like.
For the good old American life, for the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money. For the good old American life, for the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money.
Yeah, so hopefully you could tell that the voice was quite much more clear with the effect enabled. And that's just one of these things another one of those things which we feel that we have to solve in one way or another for almost every game, where music is loud but you want to hear the VO, or the game is loud and you want to hear the VO. And there's always some compromise to be made there. I think this is a very nice, simple way to implement such a compromise. There will be some filtering to your lovely crafted sounds, but it makes the voice very clear. And we've been doing some extensions to HDR.
SweejTech Spectral HDR.
So as you could hopefully tell there, the rain came back in a much more transparent way than the first time. With non-spectral HDR or classic HDR or whatever you want to call it, what can happen is that the explosion is a very boomy, bassy MIDI sound, which ducks the rain a lot, even though there is no real audio information in the high frequencies, which creates sort of a gap in the mix. And that makes for a hole in the mix rather than a pumping effect, because it remains for so long. So Spectral HDR helps make the transitions from HDR much more transparent. And now we can also have a look at the classic HDR test case with rain and Spectral HDR. So that's still a very clear and transparent mix, I would say. So yeah, it's racking up to quite a number of plugins here. And we're very excited for people to try this out and let us know what you think about it. And if you want to try them out, we offer a complimentary, non-binding 3-month evaluation period. That's a tongue twister in words, but in terms of legalese, it's a very simple thing. So yeah, just send us a mail or write to us wherever you can find us. There's lots of links everywhere. And yeah, get your Swede on. Merry Christmas.